Now we're going to have a quick look at the leads area of Island. So to get to leads, we can either click on leads from the home page, or obviously if we're within the database, we can actually click on the leads tab and it will take us through to the leads area. So in here, you can see it does look very similar to the customers. Over on the left hand side, you've got your search option, so you can pop in a name up here and search. You have the ability to change your view, so we can go view all leads and click go. And we can also obviously create a new lead. So I'm going to create a new lead. So let's click on create. And over on the right hand side here, we've now got an editable pane for us to fill in the details. So let's pop in some information. Mr. First name Bobby, last name Brown. Fill in his phone number. So we click on the phone's link and pop a number in. And his email address. Type in his address. If it's a PO box that he has, don't forget to put the words PO box in so it populates correctly on your letters. Suburb. And obviously if this was the correct address, I could click on the postcode link and it would fill in the postcode for me. I can set the source of this lead, so I'm going to say that this particular one was a referral. And we can say who the referrer was. So if it was an existing customer, I can click on the little person icon and that would open up the details of my client base, and I can link them through to a client. So let's say this person was referred by David Beckham. If it was another associate, we could set the particular associate type that we've got set up if it perhaps came from a financial planner, and click on the drop down to see the list of financial planners. When we have collected the details of who the referrer is, they're actually visible underneath, so you can see the details of that particular referrer. We can fill in the position of Bobby Brown, so we can say that he is a builder, and his income. We can set the desired loan amount that he wants in his property value, and the system will automatically, as I refresh, calculate the LVR for me, and in this instance I've put in a higher loan amount than the property value, so obviously the LVR is higher, so it's a good way to check. So let's say the property value is 500 and F9 to refresh. The lead tags the next one along. This is where you can tag your lead with anything you want really. So in this instance we can say that this is a first home buyer. We could say that he also loves rugby. And we can keep adding keywords and just keep adding as many as we want to. The next tab along is the log. I'm just going to hit save just to refresh it first of all. So that actually creates the lead, and now I'm going to add a new history record to actually capture the phone call I had with Bobby. So I'm just going to click the new button, select history and fill in some details. So I'm going to say call received from the customer who is Bobby Brown. It was a phone call. Date and time can be filled in here. It was at 1 o'clock he called me. I can fill in the details. So the discussion details was he wants to buy first home. Discussion outcome was that we will meet. And I can set myself a task as a result of this by saying yes down here. And I say my task type is to prepare for appointment. Description is gather forms. I can set myself a due date for that, which is Monday. If I wanted to put a time in, I can do, just set the time. If I want to synchronize that with Outlook, I just would tick that synchronize with Outlook button. And if I wanted to assign this potentially to my PA, for example, I can click the assign button and select the person I want to assign it to and click OK. And then when we're finished with the information, we just click save and close. And when we return to the lead screen, press F9 to refresh, or we could have hit save and that would do the same thing. We can see the details now in this log, and we can see the task I've just created, which will appear on my home page together with the activity log as well. Another useful feature within here is that obviously we can create ourselves the task from within inside the history. The activity ones you can create manually, but the system will also create you activity logs automatically when you do stuff, do actions on this lead. We can also create ourselves now an appointment within Island. So I'm going to select appointment, and it obviously automatically knows who the lead is. It has some default text, so it says meeting with Bobby Brown, which is fine. We can put in the location, Bobby's place, when it actually is. So I'm going to set this appointment for Tuesday, and we've said we'll meet at 5 o'clock. 5, scroll back 1 and click the little green. I can set it for as long as I want, so we'll say from 5 till 6. We can again synchronize this with Outlook if we want to, and we just literally need to click save, and that will actually save it within Island and be shown on our homepage in our schedule, in our calendar. Or we can say save and actually send an invitation through as well. So I'm going to hit the save and send invitation. Yes, I'm going to save my changes, and away that goes. So I can now also see I have that appointment there as well. You can collapse all of these if you don't actually want to see the information underneath the twisties. And if you want to print out your log, you can click on the print and obviously select the view, and away you go and print the details. So that's actually creating the details for the lead. The other thing that we can do is we can also create a loan profile for them to capture their statement of position, and also to calculate their serviceability. So to do that, we just click on the loan profile button. It says as none found. Do we want to create one? Yes, we do. We can at this stage say if there were more than one applicant, so we can say, you know, if there's 2, we'll just keep it nice and simple with 1. Click OK, and that will open up with a loan profile in another tab for you. So this is the exact same loan profile which you're used to seeing from within the customers. Fill in all the information in the same way, and when you're finished, you literally just save it and close it in the usual manner that you would do for an ordinary loan profile. When you have decided, or when the customer's decided, or you've mutually decided that they're going to go ahead and you're going to lodge an application, what you can actually do is then convert this particular lead to be a customer. So we just click on the convert to a customer button. That will then ask me to define the entity type for this customer. So if they were going to be buying the property in the name of a trust, I can set it as a trust, and I obviously would have created my lead in the name of a trust. In this instance, this is a person, so I'm going to select person, click OK, and the system will then create that into a customer. And I'm still on my leads tab, but over on the right I can now see that this has become a customer, and this should look familiar to you in terms of being all of the relevant tabs that you have for a customer itself. So next time I do a search for all of my leads over here, if I click go again, you will see that in my list over here I have let's have a look by tag actually first. Over here we have just the one lead now for Lucy Lawless, and my other lead for Bobby Brown has obviously disappeared, and he will now be visible in the customer area. You can also obviously search for them as well in the same way. So if I type in the name, obviously we can already see it on the screen, but it gives you an idea. We click search, and away it goes and finds anything that matches our search criteria. And we've got the same functionality as we have in customers, in that we can search by the phone number as well. To a